got it. You got it.
What's up, guys? I'm Nikki, and I have a super special guest with me today. It's Sam Mikulak.
Woo!
I know you guys have totally seen him. Wait, I'm gonna show your name. Show my name. I know you can't see it yet, but if you don't recognize this handsome face right here, he is a two-time Olympian gymnast. He's been to the Olympics in 2012 and this last one that happened in 2016, right? That was 2016?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm super excited to get to talk to him today, or for you guys to get to meet him, and for us both to talk to him together.
Well, it's exciting because we got the gymnastics connection. We got, Olympics, and then you got, what is it? Wait, make it or break it? No, sorry.
Stick it?
Stick it. Wow, that was the TV show. That was not a TV show. But yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of things a lot of gymnasts look up to you, and I think there's some reach I can give them, some reality of what it is like.
Reality, yes.
From gymnastics. Did you do gymnastics, by the way?
So I trained for 3 months for Stick It. I grew up a dancer, so I kind of have like a movement background. But they trained us for 3 months to like be strong, like to get muscles and to like be able to walk and act like gymnasts and to do like simple things like run up to the vault, or like to stick landed.
I think you can handle that. You can handle that for sure.
Oh, you'd be surprised though, because in the like 3 months that we trained, every single one of us got hurt somehow, like just trying to run on the mat or like tripping.
I think it's crazy how clumsy all gymnasts are. That you're supposed to be grateful, but then all of a sudden you get on the mats, like in the practice gym, and that's generally the case, I feel like.
That is so true. I know. I think, I admire gymnasts so much. Like after doing the movie and having to train next to elite gymnasts who were 8 years old, and we were all in the gym together, like for 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they're 8. I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe they were going to school there and like eating there, and they literally like lived at their gym. And I'm assuming you probably had a similar story. Like,
similar.
I mean, if you're going to the gym to the Olympics, I'm like, you probably trained super duper hard.
I definitely did. I definitely took a different route because there are a lot of kids that do the homeschooling thing. Mm-hmm. But I did the public school route where, I still trained like 4 hours a day. But kids nowadays are doing like 8, and then they do school, like homeschooling or some type of thing like that. And I think a lot of what they're missing, especially these young 8-year-old girls, is, that social aspect of growing up. Because I break my life down into being, a gymnast, my athletic ability, my, schoolwork, the scholarly stuff, and then the social, having friends. And kind of what I feel like a lot of kids are missing out on is that social when they're doing the whole aspect of balancing it all. They just overdo the gymnastics part, and obviously you're going to make your friends in the gymnastics class and stuff. But beyond that, it's like, sometimes you need to branch out, go try new things and explore the world a little bit, because it's so easy to get closed up in your mind.
So you would go to public school, and then how many hours would you spend, like, doing gymnastics then?
So then it would be 4 hours a day. So I'd go to school from like 8 to 3, and then 3:30 to 7. So I guess 3.5 hours. And then after that, it's like homework and, trying to socialize. Back in the day, it was AIM. You just be on the computer. Friends. I feel like no generational kids will know what that is anymore, but that was like my social.
You're aging us here.
Right? Yeah, I feel old now. I'm 24, and there's like it's crazy. I'm like almost a grandpa in this sport, but I'm still kicking. I'm coming back from an Achilles tear right now. So
I saw the picture. That was
a lot of people have told me about that. you know, you either love it or you hate it. There's really not much like in between. But Bren, oh gosh, now that you're throwing this out there, my first AIM screen name.
Oh yeah, good. You can see that. Yeah.
Being a gymnast was, so I'm really short and I liked James Bond stuff. So I went with Midget Man Double O Tiny. That was, I made it in 6th grade and I actually like stuck with that for up until college. So I was like sending all my emails out to all my like college recruiters and it was coming from Midget Man Double O Tiny. So
that is so funny.
Right? I know. I had to switch it up though. I think someone called me out on it and I was like, oh God, I gotta keep doing this or I can't keep doing this. So I grew up and I got like a real Gmail or something like that.
That's actually, yeah, I think mine was Dance Baller for Life.
Dang.
I grew up playing basketball and dancing, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Winner right there. At least did you apply to colleges with it?
No.
Good. See, that's smart. That's smart.
Actually, I don't even remember like using an email maybe by then I had a Gmail.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
goodness.
sure. I mean, granted, you don't really apply through emails. It was just like coaches reaching out to me from like NCAAs and they'd be like, hey, so and so, and I'd be like, oh yeah, well, here's Midget Man Double Tiny trying to get a scholarship over there. So
that's really funny.
Yeah.
That's actually where did you go to college again?
University of Michigan. I was there for 4 years of competition and did a 5th year. I did a lot more gymnastics than I tried minimizing the schoolwork throughout so I could focus on it. But then I took the 5th year, still got to train there. And then right after that, I moved out to Colorado and I'm at the Olympic Training Center right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Should give us a little view of your
Well, I mean,
special room.
You see it all. I have this, and then I've got a living room out there that I share with my other roommate. And I get my own bathroom, which is clutch. I think that's probably one of the biggest factors when having a roommate, essentially. But
I really like though that you like took your time with school, and that school was actually something that you wanted to do. Because I could imagine that in something as intense as gymnastics or similarly for acting, you know, a lot of people said, you know, why would you waste your time like going to school? Like you should be training or you should be just going out and auditioning and doing that. And I was like, no, I think it's really important to develop or to like have that experience. Or for me, it was important to
it is. I think learning how to time manage is actually one of the best qualities you can acquire through balancing your extracurriculars with your social, with your scholarly stuff. And I mean, gymnastics, you can act pretty much your whole life, but gymnastics you can only do for, you know, for me, I'm probably like 30 is going to be my max. So then it's like, I have to look beyond that and, you know, I need a degree, I need a future, I need to have some type of security for my life after the sport. And so obviously going to school is just going to get you in that right direction. And especially for all those gymnasts out there that are watching, going to NCAA, you can get a scholarship, get your school paid for, and you can compete, get that teamwork, that necessity that really brings people together, and you'll make friends that you'll have for the rest of your life. There's so much you learn through college that is like, you learn about yourself, your spirit, who you are. You know, that's your whole developmental phase, and to miss out on that, I think would be the biggest thing that I'd be worried about. And
I actually had this exact same question that Steven had. What are your plans after gymnastics? Like, what do you see in your future?
Yeah. Well, for me, so I started a company with a couple of my teammates from Michigan and another friend from high school called Mate Bros. It's a healthy herbal tea energy drink that I've been drinking for like 8 years. Drank with all my friends in high school, and went to college. And a lot of my friends wanted it because they just saw my friend Jordan and I passing it around, and so then they kept asking for it before competitions and practices, and we were making so much. And our whole philosophy is just to share the wealth. Essentially, we want to give it to as many people because we find it beneficial, and if other people can too, we just want to give them the healthy option. And so I just want to continue with that. Every day it builds a little bit more, and hopefully by the time I'm done with my gymnastics career, that will be a good foundation. And beyond that, I also want to own a gym out in Southern California. That's something where I want to impact the younger generation. And I've learned so much through gymnastics in my life, and I've been doing it since I was 2. So who am I if I'm not in the gym or somehow affiliated with the gym? It's become so much of my identity that at this point, I just want to help the transition for others. And Todd, the name of the drink is Mate Bros, Matebros. You can check it out, matebros.com.
That's awesome. I mean, what is yerba mate or like mate? Like, why is it different than the rest of the drinks, and why is it that's like what you wanted to share with everybody?
Well, for me, how we kind of got into it was, you go to a convenience store, there's Starbucks drinks, Monsters, Red Bulls, and there was just no clean, healthy energy. And one of my friends, Alex, who is one of our partners from high school, he quit gymnastics, and my friend was like, hey, I'm going to start wrestling. So we didn't get to see him very much, but he invited us over to his house for a tea sesh one day. And all of a sudden, he brought us over. We're on the roof in California, tanning before a practice, passing around the board, which is like the traditional way of drinking yerba mate. So he introduced it to us then, and it filled the gap for our need for healthy, clean energy to get us pumped up, because we were up since 6 o'clock in the morning going to high school, and then all of a sudden 3 o'clock rolls around, you need energy for your practice. It's boom, let's have a mate sesh, let's hang out, let's do some of our social that we're missing in our lives, and we get to be productive and have great practices later. And so that's
it's a tea, right? Is it carbonated or
no?
Everything in it is natural.
All natural. Because there's so many products that just lie to you. They're 0 calories, 0 sugar.
Right, but they're putting other stuff in it so that it's sweet, but it's fake stuff.
Yeah, and it's stuff that's just not good for you. And I mean, that's what we tried to get rid of. We just wanted to give some simple, clean energy out there. We didn't want to lie to people. We just want to be honest and be hey, we have 5 ingredients in there. There's no carbonation, because I think carbonation just kind of...
I don't like carbonated drinks.
So I don't either.
That's better.
Especially not before practice. But I love Arnold Palmer's. And so we started incorporating a little lemonade, natural lemonade, natural sugar, just to bring a little bit of that Arnold Palmer flavor into it. But very healthy tea. It's like green tea with a little bit more caffeine and a little bit more vitamins and nutrients. So that was our big deal. As soon as we left for college, we're hey, we're going to come back after college, and we're going to start a company called Mate Bros. And sure enough, as soon as we all graduated, we started it. We did a Kickstarter, and everything's been history since.
What was I going to say? Shoot, I forgot. It related to Does it have the same effect as coffee? Would you say it's that caffeinated, or is it
yes, but in a different way. Every time I drink coffee, I get jittery, and when I drink mate, I don't get the jitters. I kind of just have my mind just feels a little cleaner. I'm not racing from place to place. It's more of a focused, I have energy, but I can push it into one aspect of my life, where it's, instead of bouncing off the walls, it's I'm going to go one way, I'm going to go one way real strong.
So this is something like you can give to your kid, like to like little kids that are or like anybody, and it's not unhealthy. It'd be like giving them green tea or something.
I would say, little kids just have a bunch of energy to begin with. But
Yeah.
I would say if they needed it, yes, they're by all means, they're good to do it. I just wanted to replace anyone's crave for caffeine that does it in an unhealthy way. If you're doing it with a bunch of cream and sugar, with your coffee, or you're having Red Bulls, this is just a much simpler, cleaner way to do it. And it's going to preserve your life in the long run because of it. Just think of how often everyone drinks caffeine. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That is
so if you can do it a little bit better every single day, I feel like it's gonna help a lot.
So do you drink mate every day?
Every day. Every day. Maybe not Sundays. Sundays are like relaxing days. I don't need that much energy to lie in bed and watch Netflix or read, but
is it something that you think is good to do like before a workout? Like I train, but I don't really know too much about like what's better for the best performance, I guess. I just do like, I'm tired, I should have some.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially the same aspect. It's, if you're tired, you're like, hey, if you need to do something, you want to do it right, mate is always my go-to.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I actually really like this question that Natalie had.
Yeah, hit me.
She and wants to know how you get over your fears when you learn certain skills. That's
a good question. So what happens, because everyone has like mental blocks. For me, there's a process from here's point A to you completing the skill, point B, and there's so many different small things that have to happen for you to, do that skill correctly. You have to do part 1, maybe your tap, part 2, the release, part 3, the catch. Granted, there's so many more steps in there, but there's timers and there's drills. And if your coach has told you that you've done the timers and drills enough times, and you yourself believe that you do these timers and drills really well, and you start doubting yourself, you need to think back to the times where you actually were doing these drills, and you have to trust yourself. And it's going to sound kind of crazy because this is what I did, is I would definitely be scared for some releases, but, I knew that I'm ready for it. My coach said I'm ready for it, and I want to do it, but I'm scared. You got to count to 3. That's essentially it, because you just need that little push. You're capable of doing it, but you want to make sure you're safe, because I don't want to tell your son, hey, guess what? You're gonna go do the skill you're terrified of, and then if he doesn't actually have that foundation, then his fears might come true. But if you're prepared, you've done the practice turns leading up to it, and everyone thinks you're ready, and you want to do it, then it's just a matter of you committing, counting to 3 and going. And I've done it probably 100 different times. And I've never hurt myself, at least badly enough, on something that I was prepared to do. So as long as you do it right and you're ready, there shouldn't be any concern. You're going to be scared, but just go and get it.
I just read this book by Mel Robbins called The 5-Second Rule. And I think it plays directly into what you're saying about just counting to 3. But her philosophy is like, if your gut wants to do something, count down from 5. Just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And in your head, you naturally say blast off or go. Yeah. And you just got to take the leap and do it before you can convince yourself why you shouldn't do it. And I think applying that outside of gymnastics, that's something you can do. I mean, in life, like even yourself as an entrepreneur, like it's scary to do something that is unstable or unpredictable. And it's the same thing that can relate to other people in general with anything that they might be afraid to do in life. Like you have to trust that it's worth taking a step and trying, and you might fail, like you might not make it on the first try. You might not hit the skill the first time you do it, but you'll only get better because you can learn from those mistakes. You can action cures fear, and that's kind of the only way to move forward.
Yeah,
with
that's
goals and dreams.
I'm also I mean that was actually a lot of great points. I'm also a big believer in, positive self-talk. So if you have doubts and you're aware of having these doubts, there's a way you can flip a switch in your mind and just say, hey, I see I'm doubting myself. Let's flip that around and let's believe in myself. Like I can do this. Talk yourself up. Convince
Do you have mantras? Like, do you say things?
Like I have like a routine before I get up to the event where like I'll be chalking up, getting like focused, and I do tell myself, breathe. It's time to get after this. Think of how great it's going to feel when you rock this routine. Make sure you're aggressive. Make sure you're having fun. You've been working so hard. It's time to show it off. Like, let's get pumped. Let's do this for your friends, for your teammates, for your family. All these thoughts kind of run through my head right before I go. And that's what gives me the fuel to go, put on a performance when the time comes.
That's awesome. I like that you know your routine and you know the sayings and the people that you think of and the places that you can take yourself to that really elevate you to the next level. And I think that's something that a lot of everybody, like all the people listening and just all of us in general, can do for anything in life, whether it be an interview for a job or just to make sure that we have a positive day. Like I always say that you attract what you put out into the world. And so, being a positive and, just like a positive energy and light into people's lives, you'll attract great opportunities. You'll attract, things, great people into your life, and you really never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm also a big believer in just having constant reminders of my goals. I have like whiteboards all throughout my room that, say all the things that I want to accomplish, my goals, and just having those constant reminders. I wake up, I see them. And granted, it's not like some huge moment, but it does kind of inception you to make choices throughout your day to help guide you towards those goals. And
I love that.
Yeah, you always need a constant reminder. And sometimes I put up like motivational stuff just to, get me pumped, in case there is a down day. But it doesn't happen very often. I think I'm pretty blessed with the situation I have with the training and people I train with. But, you still need to make sure you're doing it for yourself and know why you're doing it or who you're doing it for. And there's so much beyond just, I want to go to the Olympics.
Right.
Because that can also
be actually for that. Like what is it that makes you want to work so hard? What is it that gives you your purpose? So that, because gymnastics is not easy.
No, not at all.
And putting yourself through all those hardships. Like, what is it that pushes you through, that keeps you motivated and going?
The first part is I know how hard my family worked to give me all the opportunities I have. And they come to all my competitions. And so when I'm competing, in a way, I'm competing to, show off their hard work too, because I wouldn't be here if they hadn't given me the opportunities that they had given me. And the other part of it is what I really like most about gymnastics that gives me motivation every day is I can feel progress every single day because I'm very goal oriented. So I go in the gym and I'm like, all right, here's the maximum and here's the minimum I need, or here's the minimum I need to accomplish. Let me see how far beyond that I can go. And I was here. So now my minimum is going to be an increase in my ability, and I'm going to see how far I can take that beyond it. And it's knowing yourself, knowing your goals, and having a great plan. But beyond that, it's also just being able to accomplish something every day. That's the reward I get from being a gymnast and going into the gym every day.
Yeah, I liked what you said too about having small increments of measurement for yourself. Like, we it's great to have big goals, but sometimes we may lose, it may seem too far away.
Yeah.
And so celebrate those little wins. Like, even though maybe you haven't gotten the whole skill, the fact that you at least got the landing, or, you know, or I don't know, the takeoff, whatever you call it.
No, that's exactly it. I probably do so many drills every single day, and I know kids hate drills. Like, they want to go jump to the big guns. But if you're going to be a consistent gymnast, you have to consistently build a muscle memory. And doing the big skills, you're going to be tired some days. You're not going to be able to, you know, accomplish that goal of doing the big skill. And so what can you do? You can do these drills that don't take as much energy. It's like, when you have a bad day, here's your bare minimum. And when you have a good day, it's so easy for you to exceed that expectation, that it's all right when you feel like you have a bad day, because you still feel like you progressed. You always get a positive reaction from your practices. And
I think it's important, like you're saying, though, to be consistent. And I think it even applies to just everyday life for people, and realizing that your natural, like, daily routines and habits are affecting what your outcome is in the long run.
Yep.
You know, like we hear all the time, or at least like the thought leaders that I listen to, you know, they tell you to take care of your body. Like, you need to work out, even if it's not to the extent of a gymnast, but, you know,
there's a little thing you can
do. Practice and go to the gym.
It's willpower. That's
yeah,
kind of
exactly. Building willpower. But even like meditating or reflecting and journaling, that those are important things that to create a habit out of that every day is going to help you be ready for that big moment when you really need to pull through, because you would have built the mental strength, the physical strength, you know, the psychological strength, just everything, emotional strength, but everything.
It's true.
You need to do it every single day. It's not something that you can be like, I'm all of a suddenly have all the willpower in the world, you know.
Yeah. No,
today,
exactly. You got to build up to it. And I meditated every day the year before the Olympics, just to kind of, you know, it was my stress reliever. It was my way of, you know, putting away all the big worries, all that anticipation of, you know, saying, oh, I need to do more, I need to get ready. There's always this constant worry, but then to be able to, like, sit down. Actually, here I got my SooHoo right there.
Oh,
that's my little meditation spot. But yeah, so just being able to, like, block everything out and have no worries for a little bit, and just get that moment in your life where it's like, okay, I literally have no stress, no worries. Time really, you know, there's, in the whole scheme of life, like right now, I don't need to rush. And like thinking about that whole, like in the long term of your life, it's like, wow, why would I worry? It's a long life. Like, let me just enjoy this moment. And that's kind of helped bring a little mindfulness into my practices when things might not be going my way, just to help flip the switch and make it a positive situation instead of something negative.
What are some other daily routines or habits that you have in your life that you think are applicable to everybody, just like meditating or, you know, going to the gym? Like, what are things that people can do every day that you think would be useful?
I mean, the most useful thing I think is just having like goal reminders. That is probably the biggest part of my day. Beyond that, I definitely recommend meditating. I definitely recommend, you know, I drink yerba mate before any practice. I always, it's my thing, but I love peanut butter and jellies. That's like my before practice, because all of a sudden I'm going to be like in a practice for 4 hours. I have to have like a peanut butter jelly, because peanut butter is like slow to digest, and it's something delicious that when you eat it, it just makes you happy and you want to go into practice with happy vibes. So that's like one of my weird rituals, but
I love it though. Do you have like a specific brand of peanut butter and jelly that you go with?
I do, but it's unfortunately super expensive. It's that Maranatha Nathan almond butter. It's like
Oh,
$20 for like a little jar. It sucks that it's so expensive. So sometimes I just go with
it
whatever
makes
they
it
have
more of
in
a
the
treat, though.
cafeteria. The what?
It makes it more of a treat.
It does, but I can't have it every day because I'd be running through. All my money would be going to peanut butter, unless they want to sponsor me. Then like that would be totally awesome too. But
Yeah, I bet they would. Who wouldn't want
well,
that?
I know, I know. I was trying to get Smuckers for a little bit because they're a big Olympic sponsor, but I think they have some healthy almond butter one now. But until then, I think I'll stick with whatever Jif. And my mom actually sends me care packages that have
Aw.
peanut butter, so that's really the times I get it. But I make it like super special. I like toast the bread, and then I put the peanut butter, and then I will like slice up banana, throw it on, and I'll chop up strawberries and put it on top. So that's like the jelly essentially, but like real natural jelly. And
Yes, yes.
it's to die for. And if
That
I
actually sounds
have
pretty
strawberries, I'll put like honey and some cinnamon, and oh my gosh, either one, it's heavenly.
good. Okay, so all you fans out there, if you ever want to send him a care package, he loves peanut
Yes.
butter and jelly sandwiches.
That's actually a great pitch right there. I love it. Thanks for putting that in there.
Do you have any like hidden talents or like something quirky or weird about you, like something else that people probably don't know, but it's just funny?
I'm like a huge Harry Potter fan. That's kind of
Uh-huh.
like I'm really big into like fantasy stuff like that. Like my favorite book series is Name of the Wind and Wise Man's Fear. It's like the
Oh,
Kingpin Chronicle, super fantasy like.
yeah.
I right now am like obsessed with Sellers of Catan. It's some like board game that's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've actually played it. It takes a long time.
I actually right before I did this, I was playing Catan with a couple of my teammates at a coffee shop, and
Oh, yeah?
about because today's our half day, so
Oh,
kind
nice.
of like let's just go hang out, and it's not very good weather, so we're just like we're gonna play like 7 games of Catan today.
That's awesome. Why do you think you like that game? Is it because it's kind of,
It's strategy.
yeah,
I
I
think
was gonna say strategy based.
it's a mix of like strategy and luck essentially. But the best part is the interaction you get with other people because when you
Oh,
play board games generally, like you just play the cards, no one's ever talking. Like in
yeah.
Catan, you're haggling, you're trading, you're like still trying to work the system. Like there's so
So
many
basically, you're
aspects of
being an entrepreneur, but fakely with a board game.
in a way, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And to Rod's question, I also do love sci-fi. I love space stuff. There's a show called The Expanse. Actually, I read all the Expanse books, and they made a show about it that I'm like catching up on right now. When I was younger, I always wanted to be an astronaut, and so then I watched Apollo 13, the movie, and I was like
Yeah.
super terrified of space. And then after that, I was like, as I got older, I was still like holding on to my intrigue of like space, and so I'm still a huge fan of it.
That's awesome. All right.
So yeah,
So
that's
now,
my weird, quirky stuff.
okay, now I have a few like quick questions
All right,
that you don't have to like go too much into depth with.
sounds good. I'll be sure.
Are you a morning or night person?
When I'm in Colorado, I'm a morning person. When I'm in California, I want to be a morning person, but for some reason, I'm an afternoon person. I can't commit to night. I don't like night. I'm more morning than I'd say.
Okay, okay. What is your favorite way to relax?
Favorite way to relax is to. I like bath bombs a lot. That's kind of like a bath bomb with some music and a book. That is like
I can
probably
only
one of the.
picture you
the
right chilling in a bathtub.
well, when I tore my Achilles, all I could do was take baths because I had a cast on, and so it just
Oh,
started becoming like a very common occurrence in my life, and it really is phenomenal. I get it. I used to think baths sucked, but now it's like way more relaxing that I've done it a few times. Plus, the bath bomb helps with the color and the smell, and feel like I'm swimming in a lagoon or something.
That's funny. All right. Let's see. Okay, this is a good question.
Hit me.
Well, I guess you might have already answered it. I don't know. But if you could have one last meal, like this is like before you would die, I guess.
Yeah.
And you get to pick whatever the meal is, and you get to pick one person to eat with, and it could be somebody that you know or don't know, somebody that's dead or still alive. Uh-oh.
You're good. I'm still getting it. It's choppy, but I got it. So
okay, wait, yeah, I was like, oh, I'm super frozen right now.
One meal with the most interesting person in the world.
Well, no, it's just any person. So it could be it could be any person that you know or don't know, dead or alive.
I'm about to die?
Yeah, like this is the last person that you're going to eat with and the last meal that you're going to eat. And then you also get to pick where you want to eat it in the world.
Ooh.
So, or actually, it doesn't even have to be in the world. It could be in space. I don't care.
Oh, man. Wow. Oh, my God. You literally just blew my mind. Unfortunately, this is now going to definitely be in space.
Okay.
All right. But because you pitched it, I'll pick something else. Space definitely is number one, but I'm going to go with Thailand is number two. It's going to be like in one of those beautiful beach settings with the green grassy rocks.
Have you actually been there?
No, I just really want to go.
Me too. I can't wait. I'm looking for some cheap deal flights.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always looking, but it's like I have to wait until gymnastics is over or something. I can never take vacations that often.
Okay, no, but this is what I do because it's so great. So I subscribe to this free email thing called Scott's Cheap Flights.
Scott's Cheap Flights. I'm going to have to check this out.
Yeah, and then he sends you emails when maybe an airline has a mistake on their website and then flights are cheap or somehow they're having a random sale. Yeah. And I just bought a ticket to Spain for $330 or something round trip.
Round trip? Yo, that's ridiculous.
And we went to Iceland for $280 round trip.
Oh my gosh, I have to check this out.
Yeah. So what my deal is I'll just buy it because usually you kind of have to buy it relatively quickly before it goes. Then I just buy travel insurance through Travel Guard, and it's $40 or $35. And if you have to work, then you can get all your money back. Well, you just have to show that you had to work. And I'm like, that's the only reason why I wouldn't go is if I had to work, or if someone died, but that counts as something too.
I mean, yeah.
Or if you get sick, you can just send a doctor's note. Yeah,
at least hope that the insurance would let that happen. Someone dies, oh, sorry, you don't get your refund. That'd be
But that's you should look into it because you never know what you can find.
I can go have my last meal so I'm torn with the with because I feel like I got it, because right now, it's my mom, my dad, or my girlfriend. I have to, my girlfriend understands me on a level that nobody else does. She just we are almost the same person. And so that's the great aspect of having her there is it would be one of the most fun, amazing meals ever, especially in Thailand or in space. But then I also got my mom and my dad who raised me and gave me every opportunity in the world. So gosh, maybe.
I mean, you could even go with Jesus or something.
Jeez. All right. If I'm going with some outrageous person, I'm probably gonna go with Bob Marley.
Ah, Bob Marley.
I loved his like philosophy of peace and just like general happiness and positivity. And I think he would be. I just would love to like pick his brain of like all the people that have lived. He stands out right there.
I like that. I like that. I learned that about you, though. How important it is to be positive and express that, because I think it is something that will help you get through hard things, but it also will attract good things into your life that supports you. Like, I think that's probably why you feel so successful and so loved and so supported, is because you continuously put out that into the world. Like, you are always so adamant about being positive and spreading that and sharing that, like through Mate Bros and however you can to people. That's why it comes back around to you, you know?
Well, I appreciate hearing it. And it really is just a life choice. Every day, you know, if you're ever feeling sad, you can literally just be like, oh, I don't like being sad. Like, I'm going to be happy. Like, let me do something that's happy. Let me smile at someone. And, you know, me seeing them smile back, like, boom, all right, instant happy. Like, this is so easy. This is awesome.
You're right. I agree. It's very simple, and it's not something that like you have to be special to do, or it's not something that like you're born with a special power or anything. It's literally like making the choice to that you want to live and have.
Uh-oh. We froze. No. Oh, no. Are we back? Okay, we're back. I'm here.
Oh, I think I'm back.
Woo! Okay.
Oh.
Still good. It's still good.
Are you there? I'm there.
I am there. Can you not see me?
Man.
I can see you.
That isn't probably.
All right, I'm here if you can see me.
Hello?
Nothing?
Oh. Team to connect. Talking from that sloth in that animated movie. Like, really, yeah, Zootopia.
Oh gosh, that's not good.
I can't talk about. Anyways, I can't get Sam back on. Unfortunately,
wait, I'm here. Can you not see me?
It's frozen, but hopefully you guys can still see me, and hopefully you guys got out of that talk with him. I thought it was really awesome. Like, even though he's done so many great things at such a young age, I feel like he has a very grounded view about the world and how to be great, you know? Like, he just did very simple things and did them routinely and made a habit out of doing things that would make his life better, like meditating, practicing, continually trying to work on his routines, or like his, I forgot what he called them, preps or drills, yeah, on his drills to work up and get to the next step, the next level. I feel like that's what we all have to do to just move forward in life. And I love that he said that he had a vision board. I think, or he didn't say vision board, but it's basically a vision board where he puts his goals and dreams out so that he can see it all the time. And it's something that he can look forward to and work towards and remember that that's where he's headed. And I think that's important for all of us to set goals for ourselves, celebrate the small wins, and just look forward to the next step. Just keep taking a step, because a little bit of action is better than no action. I actually think that that Mate Bros is giving people who are listening right now a 20% discount if they use the code. Wait, let me write it. 20% off Mate Bros using code Nights with Nikki. So you guys can try it out, and yeah, I mean, try out Mate Bros and see if you like it. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to Sam again, because I thought he had some great points about life. But he swears by Mate Bros. Oh, he's back.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh, I don't know what was going on. That was,
I know,
just like started getting all staticky, and I was like,
I know, you went out for a while. I was like, oh no, I went out for a while. I didn't know what to do.
Well, I'm glad I made it back. What did I miss?
Just me talking about how awesome you are, and how I love that you basically, you did a lot of very simple things, I think, to get to the top and to get to where you are. And it's nice to know that somebody that we all look up to, someone who is a 2-time Olympian gymnast, somebody that has made it so far in what their dreams and goals are, was really just doing things that everybody can do. And that it was such a nice reminder that we can all be great just like you. We can all get to the next level doing very simple things. We just have to remember, to do them.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing that. And I mean, you kind of nailed it. I'm no superhuman. I do things that other people can do. And I just try making it as fun and positive as possible. That's, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, I think you're going to do whatever that is well.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for chatting with everybody on here. I had a great time. I learned a lot from you, and it really motivated me and inspired me to, go update my vision board. And
Good. I'd like to hear that. Well, I had a great time too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you guys also for joining and being part of the conversation. You asked some really great questions. So it's really good to have.
Awesome. Well, have a good one. I think I froze out again.
It's back. Just enough time for us to stay by.
Perfect. I know, right? I know.
I don't know. Oh well, we tried.
Yeah, right. Awesome. Well, you guys have a good one.
All right.
Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.